Now, the next year, Diddy actually contacts you for another freak off, but you don't know who it's for.
Yes.
But you end up not making it.
I did make it. I went all the way to Miami. I met him.
Hold on. Okay. So what happened when you showed up to this?
Showed up. I met him in his hotel room. I can't remember the hotel we were in, but I go to the hotel. I meet him in the hotel. He's like, yo. He's like, listen, I got a girl coming in. She's coming in tonight. When you get here, just be ready. I'm going to call you back. He gives me a little bit of money. He tells me to go, go on Collins, do what I'm going to do, get some lunch, do whatever. I said, all right, cool. I'll leave. I run into this girl that I used to date. So I see her. Truth is, I kind of knew it wasn't Cassie at this point. I wasn't actually like into the whole male entertainment, male provider thing anyway. So I really didn't want to see another person. I'm like, all right, at least this woman, I kind of know her. I got a history with her. Shit has already happened. So if I got to do this, I could throw a condom on, slut her out, go home. Somebody new, I don't know who that is. So the girl who I had been previously dating was from Vegas, but she was drop dead beautiful. Wasn't really much of a no-brainer to sleep with her when she made it apparent that that's what she wanted to do after 3 or 4 years seeing her. But I didn't plan on staying the whole night. I had only planned on sleeping with her once or twice and then trying to catch up with Diddy because he did finance the trip for me to go there. However, it ended up lasting all night. Totally forgot about Diddy. When I realized about Diddy the next morning, oh shit, I looked at my phone. I had dozens of missed texts and calls. Like, he was pissed. So I called him up. He's like, yo, where you was at, man? This is some bullshit. I said, listen, I ran into my ex. I said, I'll show you when I get to you. You probably would have did the same thing if you was me. Maybe you wouldn't, but I said, bro, simple manly mistake, no big deal. I didn't flake on you. He says, nah, fuck that. Come to my suite right now. So now I'm ordered by Diddy to come to a suite right now. I'm like, shit. So the girl is still in the room, the girl I was dating. And she's like, yo, who's that talking to you like that? Since when you start letting motherfuckers talk to you like that? So I said, that's fucking Diddy. She said, yeah, right. Stop playing. I said, no, that's Diddy. She said, Diddy, Sean Combs Diddy. She said, what the fuck is he cursing at you like that for? I said, well, the reason I'm in Miami is because I kind of flew here to sleep with his girlfriend, and I fucked that up last night sleeping with you. So he's pissed off. She said, stop lying. I show her my phone. She's reading the text, and she's like, yo, this could be anybody. Diddy called me again. He's pissed. He says, yo, did you leave your room late? I got him on speaker. I said, no. He said, yo, I told you to come right now. I said, damn, what you gonna do, beat me up if I don't come right now? Can I put my shit on? He said, yo, just come right now. Come right now. I said, all right, I'll be there in a second. So I hang up. Now she hears the voice. She knows it's Diddy. She said, oh, shit, you really are here for Diddy. Yo, can I come meet him? Hell no, you can't come meet him. You crazy? I'm not letting Diddy take my girl, but it gets better, Vlad. Oh, it gets better. So now I go upstairs to him. I walk in the room. He pressed me. Yo, man, I feel this is messed up. Like, I looked out. I flew you out here, and now you're going to go and you're going to try to play yourself for some girl. I said, nah. So I showed him a picture of it. He said, damn. He said, you fucking her? I was like, yeah. He was like, yo, you think she be down? First, I thought about it. I'm not going to lie. Instantly, I knew better. I said, nah, she's a good Christian girl. She not with it. He said, come on, man. Anybody with it for money. I thought to myself, dude, if you bring this chick here, you will never see her again. True. She's the girl. If she met Diddy had paid, I would never see this chick again.
Right.
And I'm petty. I don't got Diddy money. Diddy ain't taking my girl. Absolutely not. So I lied, and I told him, no, that was the end of it. That's the last time I saw him.
Okay. So you didn't see him again after that?
No.
Well, but you actually still wanted to get paid for that one situation.
Yeah, he still paid me too.
Right. And Quincy brought you the money?
Quincy brought me the money.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's his adopted son.
Yeah.
It's Albie Shore's biological son.
Yeah.
But it's interesting how he uses his kids to kind of,
But Quincy, to fairness to Quincy, he probably didn't know. He probably said, yo, just go bring this to this dude at the hotel. He probably worked. He probably didn't know. Because when he came to the door, Quincy was cool. He passed me the money. And at first, I didn't recognize him, but the girl recognized him. She said, oh, shit, Quincy. And I looked, I said, Quincy. And then I thought of the movie Philadelphia. I said, oh, shit, that is him. I said, how you doing, man? He said, what's up? He passed the money, and he walked right away. He wasn't trying to make no small talk, nothing. So I didn't, let her do the whole groupie shit. I would let him go.
Well, that was 2019. So 4 years passed, and you have no contact with Diddy or Cassie?
No contact with him.
But then in 2023, Cassie files her lawsuit.
Yes.
Are you mentioned in that lawsuit?
No, she just says that she was made to sleep with male entertainers, and she talked about the domestic violence.
Okay. You read through it?
Yes.
What did you think?
Well, I didn't read through it at the time. A friend of mine who's like a celebrity private eye called me. He was like, yo, because he knew about the encounters. He said, yo, that girl that you was fucking all those years, she just sued Diddy for a whole bunch of abuse and all of this other stuff. I said, really? He said, yeah, you should like look into it. So from what I was hearing from the papers, I heard what she was claiming, and I said, you know something? I wanted to help her, truthfully, because I knew he had beat her ass. I didn't know the extent of what she was saying with regard to I heard about the male entertainers, but I will say that I didn't discount her to think that he might have made her do this with other people, even though I knew that she hadn't done it with me. So I actually reached out to her law firm. I believe it was the Wigdor. I reached out to him and I said, hey, listen, I know about this. Like, I was one of the guys involved. He did beat her ass. Like, I saw a lot of it. If she needs somebody to support the allegations, I'll help her. And I was just being genuine. It was no hatred towards Diddy. It was the truth is because I knew how long I was involved with them. I knew that there was no way I wouldn't be involved in a lawsuit or a civil action. The attorneys told me, you know what? Thank you for reaching out so much. Yes, we know who you are. Would you mind talking to the U.S. Attorney or Homeland Security? And I said, yeah, I guess, but I didn't actually think they were going to call me at the time, Vlad. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Man, 7 days later, I'm in Manhattan walking out this building, and this Homeland Security agent named Sean, I'll never forget it. He says, Mr. Howard, who the hell are you? Hey, I'm Agent Sean from Homeland Security. Where the hell did you come from? We're not after you. Don't worry. We just need to know about Cassandra Ventura. Okay. And that starts the bullshit.
Okay, so now you're talking to the feds.
Yes.
Now, you spoke to a law firm, Douglas Wigmore?
Correct.
About filing a civil lawsuit against Cassie.
Yes, originally, yes.
What did they tell you?
No, actually, when I talked to the Wigdor firm, I talked about suing. I wanted to file a suit. I didn't tell them if it was against Cassie and Diddy. I told them I wanted to seek an action. But they never even asked me who I wanted to sue. So I would say once Homeland Security contacted me, civil action wasn't even on my mind. Maybe for 6 months until Blackburn came into the picture. What?
Okay. So you're talking to the feds, and then Blackburn, the lawyer, speaks to you.
Yes.
And what do they say?
Well, Blackburn comes into effect because I think I might have been telling you, I had a situation going on where I was maliciously prosecuted by state prosecutors. I managed to totally extricate myself from the situation, get the charges dismissed, and then I needed an attorney to help me sue the city of New York for these repeated civil rights violations. This is where Blackburn came in. I found Blackburn through a Google search. I think I talked to him on the phone. I told him what happened. I sent him some documents. He says, oh shit, they did violate your civil rights. You got a claim. So he agrees to give me a retainer to sue the city of New York for numerous civil rights violations inflicted on me by my jealous, crazy ex-girlfriend. He files this civil suit. He and I get cool, attorney-client over the time, building a relationship, talking for the lawsuit. He tells me about Little Rod during one conversation. I said, wow, I'm kind of involved in that situation. Homeland Security's been interviewing me for like 6 months. He said, what? Why? So as I told him the story, he said, get the fuck out of here. You were sleeping with Cassie 8 years? I said, yeah. He said, you got to tell me everything that happened right now. So for 3 hours, he and I sit on the phone. I tell him everything. Basically, I told the feds about the sexual assault, about the STD, about the fact that I saw the domestic violence. And he says, you got a civil claim. I said, I thought I did. He says, no, you did. Basically, what she did to you by forcing herself on you on her menstrual cycle is a sexual assault. He sends me a bunch of stuff in his email to verify it where a woman doing that to a man without a man's consent or knowledge could be considered a sexual assault. He says, you got another action because, they violated you and they coerced you and they manipulated you. They sex trafficked you. I didn't really realize all of this until after Blackburn because the U.S. Attorney's Office never said shit. The attorneys they assigned to me never told me that I had a right as a victim, anything. But Blackburn is the one who showed me actual case law. You have a case against them. So now I go back to the U.S. Attorney, and obviously I'm not happy. Hey, I told you all this stuff. Why didn't you tell me that I have a victim claim? Why are you guys just been calling me a witness? No, Mr. Howard, you are. You're a witness too. You're a witness and a victim. That's how we classify you. So for the next year, Vlad, they tell me I'm a victim witness of the U.S. Attorney's Office and that this is what they're going to do. And they stop me for a year and a half. They don't directly stop me because prosecutors are not like that. They're a lot more subtle. What they do is they lean on the attorneys by asking the attorneys for things. And my attorneys started talking to the U.S. Attorney's Office without me. They would have phone conversations, emails. I don't know what the hell is going on between these attorneys. So now several times I was supposed to sue Cassie, and Blackburn actually directly lied to me and told me he was doing the complaint and then would duck me for 2 or 3 months while I'm asking him, hey, what's up with the complaint? What's going on? Oh, don't worry about it. I'll call you tonight. Never give me a call. I got my own things going on legally that I'm litigating, so I'm not really thinking about the Cassie aspect because, again, I'm with the U.S. Attorney's Office. I'm thinking my government cares about my victim rights. Completely bogus. We get to February of this year. I directly order Blackburn to file the case thinking that I have a claim under the Gender Motivated Violence Act. Turns out later I found out I didn't. But once I did this, Blackburn, sends the first demand letter to Douglas Wigdor. Now, you would think that if Cassie was being lied on and the things I was saying weren't true, Douglas Wigdor would have told Tyrone to go straight to hell. That's not what he did. What he did was reach out to the U.S. Attorney's Office so they would call Tyrone and stop him from filing that suit because it jeopardized the prosecution. And this is what Tyrone Blackburn told me directly. I wouldn't have believed him. But when I go to the U.S. Attorney's Office 2 weeks later, they tell me that if I file a civil suit on Cassie, it's going to create a shit show. Really? But they swear they never said anything to Tyrone Blackburn. Fast forward 2 months later. May 2nd, myself and Tyrone Blackburn, after I fired the attorneys that the prosecutors gave me, realizing that they're complete scumbags who were just trying to protect the government's case, I fire them. Now I go with Blackburn. I'll be honest, he's black. I think, he's black. He's going to look out for another brother. Bring Tyrone Blackburn. Tyrone goes into the U.S. Attorney's Office, and he directly tells Maureen Comey, I was going to sue Cassandra. Remember, you guys asked me to use the L.A. thing. And she just goes like this. So that means the entire time he was telling the truth. The U.S. Attorney's Office talked to him not to file against Cassie. So this is why no one ever heard about the claims from Cassie, because the attorneys were working behind the scenes to keep me quiet so I wouldn't expose her.